Afternoon, students. So let me check how many are commented first, then according to that we'll discuss. Yes. So Kushbu said good afternoon, Suresh said good afternoon, Hemendra said good afternoon, sir. Shreyas Solanki said good afternoon, Ashika said good afternoon, Namrata and Naman said good afternoon, Riva said good afternoon. So before going to start, first check the clarity and all, and then inform to me. All right. Good afternoon to everyone. I hope you all good. Today we are going to discuss our new chapter, that is chapter number 15, Introduction to Graphs. Right? So I hope so you all okay. Krishnapal said good afternoon. Solanki said all good, sir. Very good. So if everything is good, then we have to start now this chapter number 15. Before going to start our class, let us close our eyes. We'll pray first, then we will start our class. Okay? Let's close our eyes. Clarity. Okay, very good. Okay. All right. God, kindly provide your knowledge and wisdom to solve our mathematics problems and our daily life problems. Thank you, God. All right. So today we are going to discuss this introduction to graphs. Before going to this, we should understand what is mean by graph and why this graph is using. So here this is the purpose of a graph. So you want to understand a graph, first you should know why this graph is required. So graph purpose is to show numerical facts in visual form so that we can understand quickly, easily and clearly. See, like this, any data is given in the form of graph, then you observe it and immediately you can say which is the highest, which is the lowest, and which year it was decreased, which year it is increased, especially about the population. So population is how much it was increased, how much it was decreased, that we get to know. At the same manner, if we are drawn a graph for marks and subject, so subject wise performance is what that we are going to learn. So that means what is the purpose of graph is to show numerical facts in visual form. So these are the numerical facts that you are representing in a visual form, then that is called as. So the purpose of that means you have to understand the concept easily, quickly, then we can use this graph. What is the purpose of graph? Is to show numerical facts in visual form so that we can understand quickly and clearly whichever the data is provided. Okay, for that purpose we are going to use the graph. And now we are going to discuss what are the different types of graphs. Previously, you all learned that data handling. In data handling, you all already learned that what is mean by bar graph, what is mean by pie graph. So once again, we will recall that knowledge and we can understand here what is mean by bar graph. So the information is represented in the form of bars. That bar is nothing but rectangular symbols. Then we can call that as a bar graph. Example I'll show to you here so that you can understand clearly. Let me show now some example. Anyhow, the clarity check now, is any problem was coming immediately informed to me. I hope, okay. Sometimes it was moving and sometimes it was good. Okay. All right. No worries. So observe here in this, then you can understand if this is one x-axis and this is y-axis is there. And now here information representing in the form of bars And giving here, see, you just observe now, for example, it is maths marks. So then we can write M, and it is science marks, we can write S, and it is your SS marks, that is S, S. Clear? So in such a way, if you represented any information in the form of rectangular rectangular bars, and that is also parallel. Parallelly, if you draw the rectangular bars, then that is called as bar graph. Parallelly, if you draw like this rectangular bars, so then that is called as bar graph. And then whole information, if you are represented in a pie chart. So example, I already said about the performances manner. If we can, if we do that, so here it is. For example, let's say that, so complete subjects I'll take in the pie chart. Then here somebody, one student performance I'm going to say, let's say that it is about Lakshay. So Lakshya's performance we'll see in this way here. Here it is maths and like 25 percentage, and then remaining it is not 25 percentage. Let me draw here. This is 25 percentage. So another one is, this is 60 percentage. 60 percentage. It is Hindi and it is math. So three subjects performance here we are going to write, and remaining whichever is left, that is going to be how much? 60 plus 25, 85, and remaining should be 15. So let's count now. 20, 30, 40, 40 plus 60, 100. Like this, any information here, main important point is that like this, any information, if you are represented in a pie chart form or a circle form, then that is called as pie graph or circle graph. Okay. And similarly, what is mean by histogram? See, bar graph and histograph both are different. How it is different, observe everyone carefully now. So let me draw again one more here. See, these bars are there, right? So same bars, rectangular bars only, but continuous intervals place you are going to represent. So your data is continuous intervals. That means, let's say that first date 0 to 1 day, 1 to 2 days. So how much distance a car is traveled? 2 to 3, let's say these are hours. 0 to 1 hour car, how much distance traveled? Then 1 to 2 hours, how much distance traveled? 2 to 3 hours, how much distance is traveled? And 3 to 4 hours, how much distance it was traveled? Like this, everything you are just observe now, these bars are joined together, and intervals place you are showing the data, then that is called as histogram. What we'll call this is histogram. Simply remember that if you join these all bars joined together, then that is called as histogram. If you are not joined, then that is called as bar graph. So this is bar graph, and this is your histogram, and this is your pie chart or circle graph. Okay, all right. So I hope you all understood what is bar graph, what is pie chart, what is histogram. Anyone having doubt? So you can ask me now itself. Very good. So I hope you all understood what I was showed. Still anyone facing problem? Okay. Divyanshu said yes, sir. Krishnapal said yes, sir. Okay. Now I'll ask, you need to tell answers. So what is bar graph? Bar graph is formed with what? Rectangular bars. You have to type in that place rectangular bars. Bar graph is formed with rectangular bars. And pie chart is formed with the circle place. Okay, so that circle diagram we will call it as pie chart simply. And next one it is, if intervals time these all rectangular bars are joined together, then that is called as histogram. So you type that. Let me see what is your which answers you all written. Okay. So rectangular bars is written means that is called as what? It is called as bar graph. And then next one circle if you are done, then that is called as pie chart. Okay. Then histogram means all joint rectangular bars is nothing but okay, very good. So I hope you all understood the thing now. Let's move on to the next. Here now this types of graphs I was written. Once everyone observe here carefully, and if you are facing any problem you can ask me now itself. So what is bar graph I was written is, and why this bar graph you are going to use. So here the purpose of bar graph written, let's see here. Bar graph is used to show comparison among categories. Comparison among categories is nothing but in maths, for example, marks and subjects, let me take. So, maths, how many students scored good marks? And in English, how many students are scored good marks? In Hindi, how many students are scored good marks? In such a way that rectangular bars are drawn. So that is what here written here. Bar graph is used to show comparison among categories. So to compare, we are going to use the bar graph. And next, a pie graph or a circle graph. What we call another name of pie graph is circle graph. Circle graph or pie graph, whatever is given, both are same. And what is use of it is used to compare parts of a whole, is nothing but, let's take one student performance, complete student for I was already there written lecturers performance in all the subjects. If you are written, then that is nothing but is used to compare parts of a whole. So every subject marks we are comparing only one person, that one person is their Lakshayanas. So like that, if you are done, then that is called as pie chart. So here it is written, a pie graph is used to compare parts of a whole. It is 2 times 2 2 written, is used to compare parts of a whole. You have to write these complete notes in your notebook. That is the reason I was written. And anyhow, graphs also I was drawn for your understanding purpose. Let's go for next. A histogram is a bar graph that shows data in intervals. That is the reason I was said to you that 0 to 1 hour what is there. 1 to 2 hours car how much distance traveled. 2 to 3 hours car how much distance is traveled. That graph, that small graph where I was written histogram. Okay, that you have to check. And next one, what is mean by line graph? So displays data that changes continuously over periods of time. So simply we need to say that if like this any lines are there, then that is called as line. You are observed here. Here also you are finding. So like this complete straight lines if you are showed to the changes. For example, let's see here. 2003 increased, then 2003 to 2004 the sales are decreased, then 2004 to 2005 sales are increased, then 2005 to 2006 sales are slightly decreased. So like this, whichever joined with the lines, we'll call it as line graph. What we'll call this graph? Line graph. On board, every graph is a line graph. Okay? I hope you all understood what I was said. So every graph on the board is a line graph, which is that straight lines I was drawn. Next one. What is next one? It is what is linear graph. What is linear graph? A line graph which is a whole unbroken line is called linear graph. So where you will find example unbroken line is nothing but, so you observe again clearly, a line graph which is a whole unbroken line is called as a linear graph. So line cannot be broken, so line cannot be broken, then that is called as linear graph. Okay? Line cannot be broken, then that is called as, we will call it as linear graph. So I hope you all understood different types of graphs. So what are the graphs here? So bar graph, pie graph. Okay. So what are the graphs we are finding here? Bar graph is one, and next one it is pie graph. Next one it is histogram. Next one it is line graph. Next one it is linear graph. Right? So totally how many graphs we learned till now? One, two, three, four, five graphs we learned. How many? Okay, Shreya Solanki saying sir clarity is missed. Okay. Okay, that is because of I was moving right this side and that side. Because of that reason, you could not able to find that much clarity. So I'll try to stop moving this side and that side, and I will start only from this place onwards so that you never going to get any issue. Right. Now check. I think now the clarity is good. Let me check once again myself also. If clarity is good, we'll move forward. Clarity is not good, we never going to move forward. Sundar said clarity is good. Divyanshu Solanki said clarity is good. And Nishita said not good. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm getting clarity, good manner. Let me check once again in another place. I was also seeing here, watching in the laptop, because I want to know whether your clarity is good or not good. Okay. Hemendra said not good. Refresh it, Nana. Yashika, not good, sir said. Kindly clear it, then inform to me. If still not good, then we need to think about it. Riva said good. Nishita said now good, sir. Okay. So I'm also checking like your manner only. Yes, now it is good only. There is no problem in this. Kindly go to that 480p or 360p 1080p. Okay. All right. Okay, so still Arukshita is writing 1080p. I need to keep. Okay, let's keep that and check. If still facing problem, immediately inform to me. Now let's start our exercise number 15.1. We are going to start now exercise number 15.1. Okay, linear graph. Linear graph means it is very simple, Nanam. So like just like a straight line and which is unbroken. So unbroken line if you draw, anywhere broken cannot be. Meaning of that, like, so I was joined here. If somewhere it is broken, like here there is no, here some gap and again line is got, then that is called as it is not linear graph. If there is no gap, just joined everything, a straight line you formed, then that is called as linear graph. Okay, all right. Anyhow, when we are solving these problems, you get to understand that is not a big issue. Let's move on to the exercise number 15.1. They given this graph. So here it is, x-axis represents the timing, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 noon, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. And then this y-axis represents a temperature, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Middle one left means that is nothing but 34.5. And here it is 35.5 in such a way. Now, let's see, here it is. The following graph shows the temperature of a patient in a hospital recorded every hour. So temperature of a patient in hospital recorded every hour. So that means, so 9 a.m. what is the temperature of patient? 10 a.m. what is temperature of the patient? 11 a.m. what is temperature of patient? 12 noon what is the temperature of a patient? 1 p.m. what is the temperature of a patient? 2 p.m. what is the temperature of a patient? 3 p.m. what is the temperature of a patient? That is, they were given. So now what we need to do, by observing or by reading this graph, you need to answer the questions. The first question is, what was the patient's temperature at 1 p.m.? What was the patient's temperature at 1 p.m.? What is the patient's temperature at 1 p.m.? At 1 p.m., what is the patient's temperature? At 1 p.m., what is the temperature of a patient? Here 1 p.m. is there. What is the temperature of a patient? Let's check. This dot represents the patient's temperature. So you need to come this side along this line and you have to check. So when you check, this line is in between 36 and 37. That means what is the temperature? 36.5 degrees Celsius. So let me rub here so that I'm going to write answers. Here I'm going to write your answers. First one, A, what is the patient's temperature at 1 p.m.? So it is 36.5 degrees Celsius. Why 36.5 degrees Celsius? Because at 1 p.m. you just go through it. It is 1 p.m., right? Yes, at 1 p.m. So this point indicates that the temperature of a patient. Draw this line. Along this line you have to check, and this line is in between 36 and 37. That is the reason it becomes as 36.5 degree Celsius. So written that. Everyone understood that? Okay, yes, sir. Good, understood. Okay. So now, if you are understood that A, let during the period given, what were these two times? Where the patient's temperature is two times same. Let's check now here. 1 p.m. his temperature is 36.5, and at 2 p.m. also his temperature is 36.5 degree Celsius. So by observing this graph itself, you are understood that these two are same. So now at 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. his temperature is same. So now you can write at 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. his temperature is same. So you can write at 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Option D. So that is what is given. What was the temperature at 1:30 p.m.? How did you arrive at your answer? Let's see here. At 1:30 p.m. they said, you know that here 9 and 10 middle line indicates 9:30. Correct? And 10 and 11 middle line indicates 10:30. Then 11 and 12, then middle line indicates 11:30. And 12 and 1 middle line indicates 12:30. 1 and 2 middle line indicates 1:30. 2 and 3 middle line indicates 2:30. Correct? So now at 1:30, what is the temperature of the 30 is here? What is the temperature of the patient? You found this line only. That means 36.5 degree Celsius. So right here 36.5 degree Celsius. You are understood? Very good. So Nishita said 36.5 degrees Celsius, Hemendra said 36.5, Sundar said 36.5. Very good. Eshika said 36.5. Arukshita said 36, not 36, Amma, 36.5. You check the point. Arukshita, check the point. So 1:30, right? Just you check here on the board now. The line is up going and here it is stopped. So now where it was, this line, if you go through this, 36.5 degree Celsius. So that is the reason 36.5 degree Celsius. So next one, what is patient's temperature showed an upward trend. So upward trend, when that patient's temperature was showed, you are observed now 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. increasing, and then 10 a.m. to it is 11 a.m. increasing. Then later it was decreased and later becomes as little increase. So now where is upward trend? Upward trend is nothing but in which hours it was increasing. Downward trend is nothing but in which hours the temperature was decreased. So now upward trend they said which hours 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. temperature was increasing. So now your answer for the E is 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. is your increased trend. 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. is increased trend. Okay. Okay, no problem, Arukshita. By mistake it was happened. That's okay, no worries. All right. Firstly inform to me so that let me know. Hmm. So I hope this graph you all understood. If you are understood this graph, we'll go for the second graph. Everyone understood this first graph? Once again, I'll explain to you. Listen clearly now. At 9 a.m., patient's temperature is how much? 35. Anyhow, I'll write for you first. Here 34, the middle line 4.5. Then 35, 36 middle line is 35.5. And then 36 and 37 middle line is 36.5. and 37, 38 middle line is 37.5, and 38, 39 middle line is 38.5. So degree Celsius. Now at 9 a.m. patient's temperature is 35.5 degrees Celsius. At 10 a.m., patient's temperature is 36 degrees Celsius. At 11 a.m., the patient's temperature is given as for you 39 degrees Celsius. And then at 12 a.m., your patient's temperature is 38.5 degrees Celsius. And then at 2 p.m., at 2 p.m., the patient's temperature is 36.5 degrees Celsius. At 1 p.m. also 36.5 degrees Celsius. At 3 p.m. patient's temperature is again raised. It is 37 degrees Celsius. You just need to observe these points where the points are kept those. Okay. So after that, the first question in this option A, once again I'll read and I'll explain. Listen this clearly. What was the patient's temperature at 1 p.m.? 1 p.m. Here 1 p.m. What is the patient's temperature at 1 p.m.? 36.5 degrees Celsius. Second question it is, when was the patient's temperature is 38.5 degrees Celsius? So here 38.5 degrees Celsius. From that you need to draw a line where the point comes. So here point is there. So till that you have to draw a line. So when you observe here, this point, whatever is there, that is your answer. So when you come down, you found 12 noon. At 12 noon, patient's temperature is 38.5 degree Celsius. Similarly, we solve remaining all the parts. So here next part, same temperature is there at what time? At 1 p.m. 36.5 degrees Celsius. At 2 p.m. also 36.5 degree Celsius. So now we understood that here. So same temperature is there at 1 and 2 p.m. Next, what is next D question? What was the temperature at 1:30 p.m.? So 1:30 p.m. our temperature is same, that is 36.5 degrees Celsius. So next one, what is the upward trend timing? Upward trend timing means which is increasing timing. So here 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. it is completely increasing. This trend we'll call it as upward trend. I hope everyone understood this. Okay, if you are understood this, let's move on to the next one. Let's check first the clarity and everything is good or not. If clarity is not good, there is no point of teaching. So kindly check and inform to me the clarity is or clarity is missing or not missing. Inform to me so that let me know that. If clarity is good, we'll go for the second and third. Clarity is not good, we'll stop here. Yes, sir, understood, written by Preksha. Okay, remaining all are kept the thumb symbols. Ashika kept a thumb symbol, Riva said understood. Okay, let's move on to the remaining and inform to me whether the clarity is good or not. Let me see here the some students. Yes, so everyone is saying it is good. Let's move on to the now second also. Second graph like this is given. Here this is years and sales. So 2002 year, what is the sales? And 2003 year, what is the sales? 2004 years, what are the sales? 2005, what are the sales? 2006, what are the sales? This is the given. So here sales in crores. Okay. So 2002, his business is 4 crores. At 2003, his business is 7 crores. So here middle, whichever left that you need to write, this is 1 and this should be the 3 and this should be the 5, this should be the 7, this should be the 9 and this should be 11. The middle lines I was written. So after writing that, you just concentrate clearly here now. At 2002, 4 crores. At 2003, 7 crores business. At 2004, 6 crores business. At 2005, 10 crores business. And means that much sales were happened. And 2006, it is 8 crores business was done. That means that the sales were done. Okay. All right. Anyone was saying anything good? Excellent. Okay. So that is about it. After that, now first we'll read the questions. What were the sales in 2002 and 2006? 2002, what were the sales? 4 crores. Completed answer. And 2006, what is your sales? 2006, it is 8 crores. So you need to write second one answer as 8 crores. So I hope you all having your textbook. You just check your textbooks and then inform to me. So in the textbook, second A, what were the sales in 2002 and 2006? 2002 sales are how much? 4 crore. 2006, what are the sales? 8 crores. And then next, what were the sales in 2003, 2005? 2003, what are the sales? 7 crores. And 2005, it is 10 crores. So you need to write that. Fastly check and inform to me. Yes, yes, very good. Okay, Shika returns are not good, sir. Okay. All right. If it is not good, we'll go for next one. So again, you just go through the live. So again, like yesterday manner, continue live. I'm going to keep. You just come to that so that we'll finish it off.